My people, morning guys. So today is the 19th of November, and November is a very emotional month for me, especially this day, because on this day, the 19th of November 2022, I lost my second son at childbirth. I've had quite a loss in the past 3 years now. In 2020, I lost my sister in an accident at the Bini bypass, the express at Bini bypass. In 2022, I lost my dad to prostate cancer. And in same 2022, November 19th, I lost my son. I lost my son at childbirth. It's a very emotional month for me, honestly. A very emotional month for me. His name was Obinaya David Madwabum, where I had given him his name even in his mother's womb. With Obinaya, it was an extra push for me and my wife, because we find out that she was finding it very difficult. She was finding it hard to conceive. So it took us months after we have decided that we wanted to have our second baby. It took us months before my wife finally conceived. And unfortunately, Obinaya died on the 19th of November 2022. Out of the carelessness of a nurse, my son died. My wife got to the hospital that morning. I wasn't even in Nigeria. I was out of the country. My wife got to the hospital. They ran her through the normal procedure, checked her BP, checked every other thing, because she was consistently going for antenatal. She doesn't miss it. So before time, we knew everything was okay. There was no problem. There was no issue. Just that a nurse, out of negligence, went to do otherwise, injected my wife with what they said is hot injection for a baby that was almost at 8 centimeters. Injected my wife with hot injection, and bleeding started. My wife was in pain before that time, or after this woman has injected my wife. My wife was in pains. He called this nurse. The nurse shouted back at her, say, "Madam, you be the first woman we don't born for this hospital." You know how do I put it? How unprofessional our people are here in Nigeria. So, madam, not be you be the first person we now rest for you. What's it happen? Now you be the first person we don't carry belly. Now you be the first person we won't born. This lady was going through hell and was calling out for somebody that is supposed to be a caregiver. Calling out for somebody that was supposed to be a caregiver. And out of negligence, before when she finally, okay, she didn't even come. It was her mom that now came to check her and found out that there were blood was all over the bed sheet that she was lying on. It was the mom that now ran to call the nurse. Yeah, she now finally came, saw the thing, and went to call doctor. That was how they carried my wife into. They said it will have to be a CX. That was how they carried my wife into the theater. She went under the knife. It is by the grace of God that woman did not die. That my wife, my lovely wife, did not die. At some point, the doctor couldn't even carry on. They had to call another doctor, another specialist from Asaba. This whole thing was taking place in Onitsha. They had to call for a specialist from Asaba. And after so many, when they brought out my baby, Obinaya was gone already. Obinaya David, mother Abum, was gone already. Out of the carelessness of a nurse. Out of the carelessness of a nurse. Negligence, irresponsibility. Most of our people in different positions that are critical, that are sensitive. You find out that most of these people that are in these positions are irresponsible. Careless with things that should be handled with care. That was how I lost my son, Umabialowa, out of the carelessness of a nurse. At the end of the day, when they took the whole whatever to the doctor asked, because this lady injected my wife 2 times, 2 injections, said one on the lap and one on her hand. The lady denied, say it was one, because the doctor said no. What I told her was just 1 injection that she was supposed to inject my wife with. But this lady injected my wife with 2 different injections. So when the doctor called her to ask her, she denied. She denied it. Most of our health people are not fit to serve. That's what you. So you find out that most of our health people, our health personnel, are not fit to serve, because there's something death does to you. When you walk in a place where you see too much of death, too people dying, people are always dying around you, that's where you walk. There is something it does to you. It damages something inside of you. That's why abroad, after a while, they take them out for what they call psycho re-evaluation, to make sure that the empathy that you need to carry out your duty is still there. the compassion, because somebody that is taking care of somebody, a caregiver needs compassion and empathy to be able to carry out his or her duty. There was this thing that happened many years ago. My mom, she went to the market to get something. So after buying what she went to the market to get, so she had it on her head, she was carrying it, and she slipped and fell. So that thing she was carrying on her head also fell on her, hit her face. So she was rushed to the hospital, FMC Asaba to be precise. So when we got to the hospital, somebody that was injured, she now went to rest on one of the pavements inside the hospital. I think where the kind of a desk where the nurses, their section or something. She went and rest her head there. And one of the nurses came out and said, Madam, you're not supposed to rest your head there. Take it. So I was mad, I was pissed. And I shouted back at the nurse, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? So you find out that most of these people are damaged. Most of these people that were saving at critical areas, that should have their empathy in check, are damaged psychologically. They are not fit to serve. This also happened with police people. All these people that are around dead bodies, that have seen too many deaths, it does something to them. But in our country, Nigeria here, they are left year to year in, year out. They are on their post, they are on their duty. That's why you see a policeman can just shoot somebody that is not posing a threat to your life, that is not a criminal, just that you guys are having an agreement to pull out your pistol and you shoot the person. Because you've been damaged. You've been damaged. There's something missing. A very critical tool that you need to dispose your duty is missing. And we allow these people to serve. The policeman has his pistol and is on his duties. The nurses, dear doctors, you find out people can testify the way they even talk to you at the hospital. You find out that these people care less about you. You find out that thousands of lives, thousands of deaths that had happened in this country are avoidable. But people ended up dying because the caregivers care less. The people that were meant to care for them actually care less whether you live or die. Because is it there to have seen it? So it doesn't shake them. It doesn't shake them. Even people that serves as mortuary attendants, those people, anybody that have seen death, fear that person and mind how you walk, mind how you deal with that person, and mind how you walk around that person, because he can even take your life. He cares less about what happens to you. If you die, are you the first person? Are you be the first person to die? We dey see death every day. That's the ideology. But in a working country, these people are cared for. After a while, they take them to go and check and make sure that you're still fit to do this thing you're doing. If they are not, they take them through process of treatment to get them back to 100% in doing what they're supposed to do. But here in, year out, they're just there serving. That's why you find out that politicians will not go to our hospitals or travel abroad to go and get a good care. So that's the country where you and I live, where we stay. There were issues, there were deaths that were avoidable if the people that these people are under their care actually took care of them and do or did what they are supposed to do. Find out there, you would have had these loved ones around if our caregivers were in their 100. You would still have these people around. So this is what we deal with in this country. So like, share, and comments. Let's hear. Everybody has a story, and this particular one about our nurses, our policemen. Everybody has a story to share when it comes to issues like this. So let's talk and discuss on the comment section. Share and let's also enlighten other people to be aware, to be armed with this information and know what they are supposed to do. If your people are in the hospital, you have to stay there with them and monitor what those guys are doing there, because most of the guys who are actually attending to these people are damaged. Somebody that lacks empathy, somebody that lacks compassion, doesn't really care if you live or if you die.